Welcome everyone on this beautiful afternoon. I know the weather is not the best, but that's our time for you all. We're giving a little bit of a few moments here. But yes, thank you for joining our live presentation. We are here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. We are just about to be on our way to this presentation. Um, and yeah, without further ado, we are, like I mentioned, we are here with the Cook County Assessor's Office. We are helping you understand your reassessment. Um, Schaumburg Township is a township that is open for appeals until November 17th of 2025. So we want to help you all get ready for this deadline. And if you'd like to answer for us have any questions or answer any concerns, we can do that at the end of the presentation. Here is just a quick outline of our office. We today we will be reviewing these three things. Most important is the what we do as an office, how we determine your home value, and then obviously if you're receiving our tax bills and obviously like the first installment versus the second installment, the reassessment notice that comes from our office, and what makes up your tax bill. um, on the appeal side, we will be going over the reasons to file an appeal, how to file an appeal, and reading our data. We have some new tools, and we're excited to share with Schaumburg so that you can use them and maybe even have a little bit more on what your property looks like and has. Okay, so here's your very own assessor, Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi. We have a nice picture of him here. If you haven't had a chance to see him around town, that's him. And the responsibilities of our office, as I mentioned, we would go over the things that we do. We set fair and accurate values for 1.9 million parcels of Cook County. The value of these properties is not determined on an individual basis, but rather by a mass appraisal system. We administer property tax saving exemptions that might contribute to lowering your property tax bill. So that's one of the fun things that we do as an office. And some of the things that we don't do are like setting your tax rates, setting your levies, mail out the tax bill, and we don't decide the balance of your tax bill. Here we have a good picture of a cycle. This is the reassessment cycle. So Cook County is divided into three regions: north suburbs, south and west suburbs, as well as the city of Chicago. As you can see on the picture, there is a circle, so it does sort of rotate. So a property's reassessment year depends on the township in which the property is located. Now we're in the north suburbs, which are being reassessed this year, obviously, but the last time it was reassessed was 3 years, and that goes for all the townships. We reassess every 3 years, and again, the next one that will be reassessed will be the south and western suburbs. And then moving forward to 2027, it will be Chicago, the city of Chicago, that will get reassessed. During a property's reassessment year, an appeal can be filed within 30 business days after the reassessment notice is mailed. For Schaumburg, the most important thing today, and you will hear me mention it a lot in case you are now just joining us, the appeal deadline is November 17, 2025. On the tax bills that we receive from the Cook County's Treasurer's Office, you will see two things. On the blue bill, you will see mostly just the bill, but on the yellow bill, your exemptions are listed, and um, that is mostly what we apply to your bill. So you will see that information in the bottom left, and then versus our reassessment notice. Our reassessment notice comes every 3 years, as I mentioned earlier, and then the tax bills obviously is every year that you will be receiving these two in the mail. So again, the second installment hasn't been sent out yet, but that's how it gets done every year. You will get two parts of separate tax bills. And this is what it looks like. We do have the exemptions. Those are provided by our office. The state equalizer, which is set by the Illinois Department of Revenue, is also there, and then the local tax rate, which is set by our local municipalities. Moreover, we have a breakdown um, of where your money goes. The Cook County's Treasurer's Office is giving us a clear view of what individual district or what is needed for each category. And you can always, for 2023, you can always compare 2022 and 2023. The difference is listed is there to the right, and you will see if it's more or less on each for each category. Um, Going over the reassessment notice here, that is we're taking a deeper dive in here, and that is the pin numbers top right. The estimated fair market value is the most important thing here. Most people always want to look at the neighborhood code and property characteristics, make sure those are correct, and then we have also the assessed value. And this section tells us the year, the classification for your property, and the estimated market value, as well as the deadline. Now, again, the deadline for Schaumburg is November 17. We wouldn't want you to forget. Again, we're doing the presentation so that we can get you guys more informed and obviously more familiar with the things that you can um, apply to your appeal. On here, the back of this letter, it has the history of your exemptions. So your exemptions are basically a discount that's applied to your property. There are multiple exemptions, and if you need a little bit more on that, we will go over those at the almost at the end of the presentation. Let's look at some data. So here we review the Schaumburg valuation report. So here all it is giving you the comparison each year. And we have categorized the single family properties, the condo properties, and the multifamily properties. On average, that is the what they're going for. In and the sales trends are from 2021 to 2024. So it does show that the median estimated market values of all homes, and that's throughout Schaumburg here. We compare the real estate market to the assessor's estimate. So two separate things, right? We know that the real estate market is a different price. Obviously, that is the price that somebody's willing to pay for your home. And on average, we have more stats on our website if you are interested. But here we have the most important thing is identifying your neighborhood code. You can click on this specific example. You have the drop box, and you can click on your neighborhood, um, and then that will give you that small pocket that your property is in, and then it'll give you more to compare recent sales to the assessor's estimated property values. Again, this is all on our website. This is a nice tool so that you can know exactly how many sales were listed or happened in that year. Again, it gives a nice little summary of what's been going on as far as sales in your neighborhood code. Moreover, we have the home value report. This is a nice tool. It pretty much lists is it's giving you the significant sale. So all the listings, all the homes that were sold around your neighborhood. The home value report also explains how the Cook County assessors a statistical model estimated the value of your home. So the assessor's model uses part home sales and property characteristics to learn about the real estate market. The map provided shows the five sales that were most significant for the model's estimate of your home. And then you can also research characteristics that the model takes into consideration. So anything that involves the price of your home, this report will pretty much have how far you are from stores, how far you are from, there's an airport nearby. Again, very interesting information that you may not know about your property, and as well as the ones that are surrounding your neighborhood. And then, in order to start your appeal, you will have to create an account. Visit the Cook County Assessor il.gov. You can It's an online system, so we will guide you through your filing. I will go over each tab and each part of the appeal. We do recommend that you add supporting documents like pictures, appraisals, narratives, and more. Um, and then the appeal deadline is November 17th. So we have the process itself is a you have 30 days to file. So once your township's open, you can do it at any time within those 30 days. If you um if you don't get a if you disagree with the estimated fair value, you can file an appeal. Obviously, that is the reason why you would want to supply more documents, more evidence, right? Our analysts are the ones that come to that decision. So we really, our outreach team and our team in the office will submit the appeal, and obviously our analysts in the back, once all the appeals are filed, will take a closer look and see what's going on. They're the ones that decide whether it's decrease or there is if there is a change. So it's either a decrease or no change to the original assessed evaluation. So these are very important. These are the reasons that the most common reasons that we get to file an appeal. The lack of uniformity. The assessment says your property's value is different from similar homes. So the example we have here is my neighbor's home is the exact same model as mine, but was valued much lower. So obviously we want all the properties to have the same value. It doesn't sound fair to have someone that has the exact identical property, but they're being assessed at a much lower price. So for evaluation, the assessment says your property's value is higher than what you could sell it for. So the example is my home has had no major rehab and would not sell for what the newer homes are being sold. It's very important to know the history of your house. So if you know that for a fact there hasn't been any remodeling, you yourself, if you just bought the house, hasn't done any upgrades, any major construction, then obviously you would know that it hasn't that value should somewhat be relative to it not being remodeled. And then an incorrect property description. The assessment lists incorrect information about your property. The example is that my reassessment notice says my home is 500 square foot larger than it really is. So with this type of discrepancy, there's a, um, you know, there's actual property information. So the characteristics have to match you, well, what the price that is given. So obviously here the most important thing is to make sure you have all the correct information as far as when the house was built, how many square feet, are one of the most common ones that we get. and and the fun part is to file, right? We're here now, and the first thing you have to gather up is your email address. If you don't know it, maybe look at your phone, try to search something that will tie your email address, and then the pin or address of your home. So with that, also have in mind that the more pictures, the more um, familiar you become with your neighborhood, as far as like houses and maybe even using them as comparables. Also the market analysis and appraisals that you can, if you recently bought the house, maybe you have the closing documents for that, things of that nature. They're not required, but you can always submit them. Here on the top, on the middle of our page, you can see that that's where you will be looking to file. Right under the appeals tab on where it says file online, you would be clicking on file online, and then you would begin the application. You would be doing residential unless you own a condo. The top is the very top one. And then again, friendly reminder: Schaumburg Township is open until November 17th of 2025. The way you'll be searching your property is without any dashes. So make sure the PIN number is typed in straight, no dashes, no spaces. And then here, all this is saying is the activity window. Make sure that those dates are correct. That's the window that we give you to file. So make sure that that's always correct. Here, if your property had something incorrect, any of the characteristics will we will have to go back to correct those. So obviously, if there's any certificate of error appeal, you will be selecting the years that you felt like the property has had the incorrect information. So you will be selecting those years, so that we can get that corrected as well. Additional pins. So if your property has more than one pin, this is the part where you would add the pin. Please don't add the comparables just yet. This is just in case you have another pin for your property. So this is where you would put that secondary pin on the real estate assessment value um, valuation appeal part. Basically, this is just your information. You're the filer. Um, we do have it where sometimes the old owner is the one that has the name here still. But if you wanted to correct it, you would check this box, and then get that corrected. You would put your information, and then there's this hamburger icon that would help you put the information in the right field. So again, make sure your address, your phone number, email is there. If you want to receive reminders, there's a checkbox right next to your email address so that you can get updates from our office. Next is the filing, the filing of the characteristics. So everything here should match what you received in your letter. um, Go over everything, just correct whatever is incorrect, and then just check out a few boxes as well. Things like central air, solar heating need to be answered, and then for the next part of the application, it's very important that you kind of already have an idea of what your desired market value should be, or if you're not sure, then you can always enter zero. But yes, if you're getting your letter and the fair market that we've given you is 620, then you would put so a different amount on right next to it. So again, we went over some of the reasons, but here we have at the top that we have more than just the three reasons that we went over. We have fire damage, we have property description error, we have building is uninhabitable, we have building no longer exists. Um, Again, make sure that you select those and that you give a brief reason of why you are filing for that specific reason. So how is the subject property used? Very simple. Just if you're the single, if it's homeowner occupied, obviously you will hit that single family option, and then on our next page, you would start to look at comparables. So if you wanted to kind of customize the search, there is an option for that. So if you already have the PIN numbers of other properties, you can search those individually, or you can also search the database for comparables that are very close to your property, and also obviously the same model. um, and and then again, we do encourage to attach pictures, narratives, appraisals, recent closing documentations. This is where you would be attaching those if if you want anything else that we should know about, and you feel that's important to determine your assessment value, feel free to drop it in the select files part of this application. The very last page is very important that you put your name, your phone number, check that your email is correct, and then yeah, the the next part is the final part of the appeal, and then it even asks you if you are sure you want to submit this filing. It's very important that if you are 100% sure that you are going to go, that you're going to close it out that same day, you will hit yes. If you wanted some additional time and think that you want to go over some things with someone else, or if you want to just kind of give it a break and then come back to it before November 17th, then you will hit no. Your filing does save, so don't worry about losing anything that you already have. And yeah, most important is just be 100% sure that you're ready to complete the filing. If you do say yes, you will get the filing number. Your appeal results will be mailed to you. If you win your appeal, your new value will be reflected on your second installment bill for 2026. So again, just have in mind that once you submit the filing, the only way we can reopen this is just the only way you can do changes is just by adding before the November 17 deadline. So again, if you needed to add things to your appeal, you can do so, but it will have to be before the deadline. We highly encourage to play around with our website. We do have a exemption history, an appeal history, and an assessment history of your property. So it's very, very important that um, if you also want to know how much you're saving, or if you're getting the exemptions that you are entitled to, that you go to our Cook County www.cook county assessor il.gov. So yeah, that's going to show you what exemptions you're getting. Our 9 exemptions here are the homeowner exemption, senior freeze exemption, veteran with disabilities exemption, returning veterans exemption, the World War II veteran exemption, the person with disability exemption, the long-time occupant exemption, and the home improvement exemption. Again, these are our 9 exemptions, and we're here to help. Call us, connect with us on social media, make an appointment for an in-person assistant. Right now, our Markham courthouse is temporarily closed, but we do have the other three locations in Chicago, Skokie, and Bridgeview that are open. And if you would like to sign up for emails updates from our office, we promise not to scam or spam you. We will basically just be sending out information about your township and your neighborhood. So it's pretty neat to just have that reminder on your email. And yeah, very important to keep um, to keep in touch with us. This is also our QR code. So if you are seeing this live, grab your phone, scan the QR code. It'll take you straight to our website. And yeah, again, this is the part where I would like to receive questions from anyone. Um, and yeah, another QR code page for you guys. I believe we don't have any questions for tonight, but again, if you have any questions in the future, we do have a contact us on our website. So feel free to go to our website. If you have any questions, you can type in your property's information, your question, concern, complaint. We can take care of it all. So yeah, again, we're here to help. Make sure you stay in contact, and then you do your appeal before November 17th of 2025. Do you need to correct the market value and assessment history if only a few dollars off? So I think the question is, you're okay, or your market value is close, very close to what you feel like your property could be sold as. So if it's only a few dollars off, normally is a couple of thousands off. So if that's your question, I believe it's within 10% that we recommend to file an appeal. So yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, we just say that it doesn't make much of a difference if it's just a few dollars off. Um, and then Suze P asks, would you please explain the long-term house exemption? Been at the home how long? So the long term, it's 10 years, and it's determined by our office. So when you qualify for this exemption, our office sends you a letter for the long-term exemption, and then that would mean that you qualify. So it is based on the EAV. So just pretty much, wait for the letter. But yeah, you would have to be there for 10 years or more. Hope that answers all the questions. I can hang tight for a few more moments if anybody thinks of one or. All right, everyone. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and thank you for listening and joining us.